Alrighty, howdy neighbors and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Last time we got Detective Gumshoe fired, Edgeworth is trying to quit, and now Emma is talking with the police chief, so nothing good has been happening for us. Anyway, hey girlie. I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, but there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say. And you think I'm protecting this person. Protecting? No, I think afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. Argument's sake, Mr. Wright. Whom may I ask is the person you're speaking of? The one I am supposedly so frightened of. What is the person's name? It's this guy. He even showed up right in the beginning, so... Fate. Take that! Take that! Well, this guy. Mr. Wright, you are addressing the chief prosecutor. Do not forget your place. You're just only ready to spill the beans. My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he's responsible. Tell me something. Why did he try to hide his crimes? His crimes? Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. Of course, these are serious offenses. Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name is never mentioned? Chief Gant? Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly tampered with the evidence was me. I had access because I was second in command of the investigation. Yes, you, but also the other. Damon Grant. If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in the case. The list. Right? Take that! Take that! I found this in the safe in the chief's office. This dry piece and this piece of cloth. Do you know what these are? A piece of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him? Touché, Mr. Wright. As you surmised, I cannot disobey the Chief's orders. What if it means being found guilty for murder? Why not? Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate in the word of Detective Goodman. Or perhaps I should say follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Orders. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. Just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. The trunk's lock was broken. I discovered that a murder weapon while inspecting the body. The murder weapon. I mean Edgeworth's knife. No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it. Knife from the SL9 incident. Serial killer Joe Dark's knife. I couldn't just leave that knife in him, so I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. That'd be Edgeworth's knife. That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. That's the reason for the bandage on your right hand. Yes, it seems I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then, She saw me just as I plunged the knife in. A star, huh? Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly? It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that, by whatever means necessary. So I hid Dark's knife. The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with it. So you wrapped up the knife in your scarf and hid it, in Edgeworth's exhaust pipe. Right. Then I called my sister to tell her what happened and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. I asked Emma. I didn't want anyone on this force to know about this. That would explain why Emma was so confident about Lana's innocence. She took the phone calls. I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. Bad feeling. The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. Marshall? What on earth would you call him? The lead investigator in the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. Or at least I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke with him, he went off on an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean, not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. I had already stolen that ID card, but it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he must have had disappeared. So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room. I'm afraid that's all I could tell you. Alana, you've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as the defense attorney and an investigator. Now please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. One went down to the chief's office 2 years ago. To be continued. Let's do this. The final day of the trial. We've done it! Let's go, let's go, let's go. February 25th, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. This is the defendant lobby, alright, but there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Who could she be? Where's Emma, for that matter? It always seems as if something's been happening behind the scenes. Hi! Edgeworth. Knowing you, I've already figured it out. With the owner of the 777-7777 ID number is. That is. I have a pretty short hunch. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. You know, the only reason this trial hasn't reached a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. Not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I will call for a ruling. 5 minutes, right, and Chief Prosecutor Skye will be found guilty. I love your confidence, but I'm full of bullshit, so here we go. She didn't do it. I figured to say as much. That's why I came here. See what you have to say. First time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something. The only way we'll ever know the truth It's drawn out of her. The truth. Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. We're stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. See you in court, right? By Edgeworth, Lieutenant. This is it. If I'm gonna find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now. February 25th, 10 a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 9. I'm surprised it's always 10 a.m. You would think it would start at different times, but nope, always 10. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally, this would be when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Chief Gant. He just phased in! Everybody run, he's a ghost! Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, Edgy. Been back to the pool yet? No. I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. Why is he so obsessed with swimming? Yeah, that's a good one. I think I can top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, what exactly... Oh, exactly what is this proposal of yours? Lana, that is to say the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. Hey, girlie! What's this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request, and I'll be finished. Well then, what is your request? Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial. I press to all charges against me. February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No, Lana.
Objection!
You can't. Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. Lana. Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. Prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please. Well, the defendant clearly has the right to self-represent. The request is legally valid, although it is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there is no need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise. This can't be happening. Guess we're done here! That's gonna be a lie. It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant...
Objection!
Edgeworth! One moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Come now, Worthy. I understand that this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut, No. I don't think I care for your tones, Chief Gant. Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer a naive little boy you would have me to be. With this sudden confession for the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal, Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness. To whom? As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye. Of course, the court hears her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm exercising my right to self-represent. I don't think we need to continue. I don't care what you think, Miss Sky. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. Very well, the court shall grant the prosecution's request. It's okay with you, right, Chief Gant? Worthy? You'll live to regret this, mark my words. Son of Sky, please take the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Hey, girlie! Now the witness, please state your name and occupation. My name is Emma. I'm a Sky. My occupation? I'm Monda's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator. 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is that correct? Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. It's an incident that was resolved 2 years ago. Really all that relevant. Yes, it most certainly is. Well, okay then. You sure gave in fast. Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. And hopefully the end of this trial. It's been so long. It's been 87 years. Witness testimony 2 years ago. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. A man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. The chest? Didn't it say back? Good thing you weren't harmed. I passed out, I don't remember much. That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with the Detective Goodman's murder? What will soon become apparent, Your Honor. You've got to admire his courage, considering he has no evidence. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. Cross-examination. 2 years ago. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct? Yeah. She was second in command, under the Deputy Chief, Police Gant. My sister. She was the best detective ever. Yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Gant and Miss Sky used to be quite the pair. I believe they shared the same office. That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk. They dreamed about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day too. The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day. Anna promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work. The man came running in and took me hostage. A man. Yes, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer. Joe Dark was brought in for questioning that day, the day of the ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest. When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right? Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. It's been in a panic because the elevator was going up. And he ran into Sky and Gant's office. A lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him. Neil Marshall rescued me. What was the prosecutor doing there? That day, there were 2 people present during Dark's questioning. Deputy Chief Damon Gant and Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Almost forgot about Gant. Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, He went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony. I assumed that would also be why he was the first to run after dark. When dark grabbed me, I thought I was good as dead. And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in. I don't clearly remember what happened then, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant.
Hold it!
Can you tell us about that? Mr. Marshall jumped on dark. Just then the lights went out. The lights. It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby. So the electricity went out. Wait a minute. It was pitch dark in that room. You shouldn't have been able to see anything, right? Right. But just then lightning flashed again outside. A sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind. I see. I told the detective about what I saw then. The detective? Yes, Detective Goodman. He's in charge of the case. Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. Hear more. We spoke to Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago. Yes. That's what's so scary about this trial. And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw. Yes, but at the time, the wishes wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture. Picture? I think she mentioned that before. Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough? Let's look at the picture. This picture the witness drew. I believe it has a very important meaning.
Objection!
The list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. Good, because I am about to show you a list. I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost. Where is the thing? There is the thing. I need this.
Objection!
Mr. Edgeworth, this little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet, you would insist on denying its existence. Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor of that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold, is this the evidence list for the SL9 incident? Please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it over. What is this? Yeah, what is that? Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew. Indeed. 2 men appear to be wrestling here.
Objection!
What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list? Me? Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list. Huh? These lists. They're different from each other. What? It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago is incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You see the marks here, but they were torn apart from each other. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened 2 years ago. Only half the evidence in the case ever reached you. What? What? Order, order. But Miss Skye, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list? Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor. Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor. You're all right, Mr. Wright. Your eyes are bulging from your head. In the evidence list... If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more to the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. Yes, that's quite conceivable. Oh, sorry. I keep hitting the mic! Yes, it's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth. It's possible. Let's see. Delicious? Something wrong? Do you even have to ask? Sorry, Your Honor. It's indeed something drawn to the back of my list. It's that thing. He hates it so much. That's that thing. I think that was dancing in the evidence room. Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives. Sorry. Guess he was that of scrap paper. Evidence was restored and updated to the court record. This is the evidence in the SL9 incident. Half the list was found against Zesk. Very well. Witness, will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago? Oh, yes, sir. Your Honor. You got this, Emma. What's wrong with Emma? She seems to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture. Witness testimony. Emma's picture. This is a picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright I could see where the shadows were. After that, I must have fainted. The picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. To think a flash of light could burn such an... Let me look at something real quick. No, never mind. Because I was thinking, because it looks like the badger. Like, the drawing looks like the badger. I was like, what if... Because it... And no, it's not. Never mind. I was like, what if the flash of it made, like, the shadow of this look like the badger? But it wouldn't be the case. And also there's the fact that the picture was taken on, like, by his suit of armor. I don't think that's it either. Sorry, I just wasted everyone's time. To think a flash of lightning could burst such an image in your mind. Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw. Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Cross-examination, Emma's picture. This is a picture I drew 2 years ago. Did you draw this picture right after the incident? I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first I was in such a state of shock I couldn't do anything. During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of David Gatt and Lana Scully. 2 or 3 days later. The memory should still have been fresh in her mind. Excuse me, witness. Can you please tell me why this picture is painted all black? And why it looks like he has baton? The lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. So, at the time, you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue. No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lighting was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor. We were onto the floor. Dark had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on me, I was knocked away. Turned around. That's when the lightning flashed. Oh, Emma, I'm glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed? After that, I must have fainted. A likely story! And we didn't actually see the murder take place. No, I'm sorry. Our lead witness didn't witness. Girl. No. The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, the trauma of the situation unmistakably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further? What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. Anyway, this picture. Picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. It's a baton, though. It's not a knife. Because knives... I don't know if you guys know this, but knives are pointed because they used to cut and stab. So... boop-a-doo. I'm gonna... Oh, let me look at something. A stab wound. And it was found missing the tip. And that already has the tip of the knife missing, so I wanna... Sorry, honey.
Objection!
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contradicts a... Oh, contains a blatant contradiction. Huh? I still remember it like it was yesterday. Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction to us. Part of the picture contradicts with the autopsy report. This one.
Take that!
Contradiction, of course, lays here. Take a look at the knife that the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see that the tip is broken. Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright. But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? This tip is broken too. If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body. It was the conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer. I'm afraid it's not so simple anymore.
Objection!
And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem? I'm gonna go ahead and tell you next time. So get wrecked, Mr. Edgeworth, and I'll see you later. So thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I will see you later.